Let's do it. We must do it. We must do it, and we must smile while we're doing it. You know why? Because only quitters quit more than once, technically. Because you're not a quitter if you only quit once. Remember that. Quitter is for someone who does it multiple times. All right, I'm done speaking. Speaking too much truth right now. They don't want to hear it. No one wants to hear it. Too much truth right now. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Let's do this. Let's hype yourself up. Halo's hard. You're not that bad. You're not the worst Halo player. I know you're not, man. I know you're not. You're not the worst Halo player. You're the third worst, okay? You're the third worst Halo player. There are 2 people worse than you. Let's do this. I'm hyped right now. All right, come on. Show him, Irvin. Show him you're not the worst Halo player. Did I just die and I didn't notice? Okay. Sorry. I wasn't looking just now. Let's not count that. Okay. I gotta get used to 3 buttons. C and F. Remember those buttons, guys. Those buttons are gonna carry us to the promised land. It's alright. First place only has 2 kills. That's it. Just 2. What is the cinder shot? Can't move around as much as I could in the other one. Wait, what? Alright, no. Let's not get upset. Third worst Halo player, not the worst. Dude, someone's going crazy.
Active camo available. Burn them all down.
Oh no! Oh, this game is actually worse than the first one. And the second one. Put together. It's like no contest. Oh, come on. Wait a minute. Are other people using this camo to, like, sneak up on people? Could that possibly be what's happening? Probably not, but I need something to hold on to, okay? I tried to do the thingy. There's nothing better than getting assisted kills on a free-for-all mode. Like, that's so insulting. Don't give me an assisted kill. Dude, I'm gonna cry if I don't get one kill. Come on, I'm gonna cry if I don't get one. I just need one kill. Just give me one. That's all I need. Just give me one.
Power items have arrived.
Ah. Dude. Yo, what? Okay. I'm starting to think, and you guys let me know if I'm coping or not. I think that for whatever reason, my connection might be slower than everyone else's. I think that's what's happening. I might be coping. I'm fully aware that this might be coping. But something seems off.
5 minutes remaining.
Active camo acquired.
Dude, that active camo lasts 5 seconds, really? How did that guy not die? I should have switched to my old pistol pip.
Power items inbound.
Oh my god, I have 0 kills. 0. Not even I can't even use my fingers right now. I can't even count to 1 right now. Yo, should I camp? Does camping work? Does that look down on? Let's camp. Let's camp. Now, because if I camp, then I'm never gonna learn anything. Oh, come on, dude. How does one get a headshot in this game? You know what? I'm gonna try. Apparently, there's a way. There has to be a way.
Transfers obtained.
Behind your back, man. Dude, come on. Have mercy. Have mercy on my soul. Halo, what are you doing to me, man? What are you doing to me? I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. I just need 1 kill. I just need 1 kill, okay? That's all I need. Just let me have that. Just let me have that, okay? I don't care. I don't care. It can be a kill from beyond the grave. I will sacrifice myself for a kill right now. No! I should have thrown a grenade. Dude, I have 0 kills. 0.
Active camo
Yo,
available.
this game hard, bro. This game is so hard. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? We got ninjas out here, man. Everyone's behind everybody. Yo, they must be like talking about me on like mics. Like, yo, you need an easy kill. Go kill number 6. Dude, I need a nice and easy game. To come on, dude. Yo, stop telling me I got assisted kills. Stop it. Oh, dude, this is bad. This is not the game, but me. I'm bad. I'm so bad.
Seconds remaining.
No, I got 10 seconds. I got 10 seconds. I have no kills. No, don't let me go out like this. Dude, no. No. Oh, no. Oh, I can't believe that just happened. Oh, no. Okay, I can't do this to myself anymore. I gotta take a Halo break. Oh. How long have I been at this? Way too long. Over an hour. Oh my god. Oh my god, no. Halo, no. No Halo. Get away from me. Get away from me. You dirty, dirty, dirty girl. Get away from me. Oh, dude. I had 0 kills. 0. Not 1, not 2, not 0. Not 0 kills. 0. I can't believe this. This is sad. I gotta watch something. I gotta watch something funny. I can't live in this world right now. I can't live in a world where I got 0 kills. Okay. YouTube, come on, rescue me, YouTube. YouTube, come on. Hurry up, YouTube, come on, YouTube. No, don't get over my video, YouTube. Oh, dude. All right, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. All right, calm down. You just had 0 kills. You just had 0 kills. You know what? Let's learn about NFTs. Okay? Does anyone want to learn about NFTs with me? It's okay if you don't. It's okay. I'm going to click this because I had 0 kills. Just let me have this. Zero. I had 0 kills.
Everything except the money. They still have that, guys. Thank God.
0.
But The 1.7 million followers on their @NFT account was just nuked into the metaverse. They don't have that anymore. And now several people are looking for a job. Now, all of this literally happened overnight. One day, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars on autopilot, and the next, the account has been banned, and Mark Cuban has been accused of scamming people. How did this happen? I'm here to tell you guys today. It all started with a Twitter user who goes by the name of Top Shot Fund, and he actually did what no one has ever bothered to do with NFTs before. He did his research. He took a look at all the projects that Mark Cuban's company has been promoting in the last few months and checked if they actually made money or not. Now, before we get into the details of this, for those of you who aren't fully in the loop, Mark Cuban and a partner...
This is CoffeeZilla, by the way. This guy's cool. He does stuff and things for people, I think.
Jason Falovich bought an Instagram account called @NFT a little while ago and almost immediately started using it to shill the absolute scummiest projects imaginable, as long as you were willing to pay the right price. Sort of rug pull promoters for hire, if you want to look at it that way. Now, I covered this on my show before, warning you guys about this page. Okay, I DM'd the owner, and I was told I could promote an NFT project that I didn't have on his page if I only had $20,000 per post. And he said the only way this would work is if I bought the 5-pack deal, which was $100,000. And part of the appeal of doing
$20,000? Yo, that goes to show you how profitable this shit is. Or you can charge someone $20,000 just to like get on a page, and people will pay that. That's insane, man.
this is that they don't mention that these projects they promote are ads. So it looks like they genuinely have hype. Now, I told you guys at the time this was super sketchy and you shouldn't trust these people, and it turns out I was right, because our buddy Top Shot Fun analyzed the performance of these NFT projects that they were promoting for cash and found that 70% of them fell in value, lost money. 10% of the projects were outright rug pulls, and only 25% of Mark Cuban's company's picks actually...
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, a rug pull, I believe, is when you hype up something like a stock or some kind of thing where you can make money off, I guess, something you could invest in. You hype it up, and you hype it up to the point to where it increases in value, and then when people realize that it's not that valuable, you sell all of your stock in it or something. I don't know, something like that. I don't think it necessarily it's just stocks. I think you can do a rug pull in like a crypto, I guess, product or something like that, or crypto coin or something like that. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass here, but I think a rug pull is basically when you have investment in something and you own a big majority of it, and you get people to invest based off of you hyping it up, but you know that it's not worth anything, and you wait till it hits a certain price or whatever, and then you take out all of your equity in it, I guess, and people are left holding it back. I think that's it. Maybe not eloquently put by me, but I think that's essentially what it is.
In price, you would have made money on them. What you're seeing right now is the spreadsheet that was put together about all these projects they promoted. Now, basically, this means that the 1.7 million followers were probably losing money, while the people getting rich on these picks were obviously Mark Cuban and the gang, as if they needed more money. I mean, I guess there's no such thing as enough money. But anyway, this was caught out, and almost immediately, this post went viral. The team behind @NFT immediately started to do damage control and set up a live Twitter space claiming that it was all a big misunderstanding and that they were big on doing due diligence.
I'm not going to say every project we've ever promoted is terrible. That couldn't be further from the case. There's been a lot of fantastic projects that have come through. We are doing due diligence on these projects.
Now, all I really can say to this is my own experience with talking to these guys behind the scenes as a pretend NFT project promoter. And I can tell you that I think the only check they were interested in was the type you give to a bank teller. I mean, they didn't ask what the name of my
What?
Bored Ape Penguin project was. They were like, hey, give us the money now, baby. Check or we don't care. That was the entire vibe of their thing. It was like a copy paste. Like, if you don't have 25K per post, 5 post minimum, what are you doing here, right? Now, obviously, no one actually believes this, but this is kind of what they have to say because, you know, you have a big name like Mark Cuban involved. He's got this huge brand, and you can't have him promoting a scam, right? And so a lot of work has been done to say, Mark Cuban? What? Mark Cuban? What? We had his name on the Instagram account. He was a co-founder. What? He had nothing to do with this. Apparently, Rolling Stone asked him if he was involved, and he said, no, he wasn't involved at all in the operations. Basically, he didn't know anything, didn't see anything, didn't do anything. His co-founders were just running around without him. And, you know, maybe there's some truth to that. I'm sure Mark Cuban's a busy guy. I'm sure he's not dealing with the day-to-day. But my thinking is he was probably happy to sign the checks when the money was coming in. But all of a sudden, when stuff blows up, all of a sudden, Mark Cuban's nowhere to be found. He disappears. And basically, everyone involved in this is acting like that. No one responded to my requests for comment. Nobody responded when, you know, it was asked why they didn't say these things were ads when they actually were. You know, all of a sudden, nobody's running the ship, right? Nobody's in charge. When it's making tens of millions of dollars, I'm sure things are fine. Even the guy who's sort of the face of this whole thing, Jason Falovich, the guy who told me I would need to pay $25,000 per post on his page, you might be shocked to know that he's not in it for the money.
And if you do what you love, and
That's crazy that you can charge that amount for a post. Like, obviously, I respect the fact that the guy's able to get people to do that, but that's insane to me.
like, I don't do it for the money. I just fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I wanted to get up every day and do what I love.
That's right, guys. He has a passion for this. This is... He's got a passion for asking for 25K per post. He's not in it for the money. He's in it for the love of the game, the love of NFTs. Guys, either way, the page has now been nuked by Instagram, by the holy angels at Zuckerberg's hellhole. I really find it disgusting the way every time, it turns out it was always about the money, and the price was you. The price was you guys getting scammed. So I hope you guys learned something about trusting influencers, and please pump the stock Zilla if you want to get ahead of the game. As I said, I covered this months before it became a news story. So if you want to get 3 months ahead on the news, hey, subscribe, like, it's free. Thank you so much for watching.
This guy's doing good things. But I kind of want to know what an NFT is, right? So let's figure that out.
His action fees and deflation.
Dude, I never watched this video. I clicked on it and like fell asleep. Which is obviously not a good sign, but it's all good. Let's watch shorter videos. What is an NFT? Johnny Harris. All right, this guy looks reliable. No.
Now to the
Get
latest
away.
trend that's sweeping the internet.
Something called NFT.
They're now selling for huge bucks.
$69 million.
Oh my God. So what's behind this latest craze?
That is the question to ask.
Okay, so there's some super strange stuff happening online right now, and I need to tell you about it.
Yes, tell me.
Look at this tweet. The first tweet ever tweeted in the history of Twitter. The tweet was by Jack Dorsey.
I'm one of the co-founders of Twitter.
And this tweet was somehow just purchased for $2,915,835.47.
Who was it purchased by and who sold it? I kind of want to know that because can you take someone else's stuff, I guess, and sell that basically? Like, did someone that wasn't him sell his tweet? You know what I mean? Like, is that weird? I don't know. Maybe.
You serious?
And it's not just a tweet. Just last month, a single JPEG sold for $69 million.
Oh my God.
The NBA is selling little moments of basketball games for hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is all sorts of digital things that people are purchasing a version of them for lots of money.
Apparently.
There are 3 simple letters that you need to understand what's going on. Those letters are NFT.
What's the latest trend that's sweeping the internet?
I can already tell I'm going to like this video. I'm not sure if I'm going to exactly learn anything from this video, but I can already tell I'm going to like it.
What exactly is an NFT? So-called NFT.
Y'all in the chat understand what an NFT is?
Look, does that stand for not safe for work? What does this mean?
Why would you pay for an NFT when you
Not safe for work. There's no W in that. How did they get that? Does it stand for not safe for work? No. There's no S or W in people are stupid.
you can look at it for free?
Is this a gigantic bubble just waiting to burst? I believe in this space with my whole heart. I'm just fascinated by it, all of it.
This story is much bigger than a $600,000 cat gif or a $3 million tweet. It's a story about human psychology and how the way we value things is shifting because of technology. A technology that some people think may revolutionize our society, while at the same time accelerating the climate disaster. It's really nuts. It's all of these things together, and I want to explain it to you. So let's do this.
LeBron James! That was insane! Officially insane, LeBron James!
Yeah, officially insane.
NFT stands for non-fungible token. Okay?
Okay, I knew that.
Explanation. Non-fungible token makes sense, right? So the video's over now. No. One of my issues with this topic is that people throw around things like blockchain, crypto art, ledger, NFT, and they just expect me to understand what they're talking about, and I didn't. Okay, I'm going to talk about a Tesla for a second. Customized by Unplugged Performance to be the most unique and high-quality Tesla there is. Oh, and it's not just a Tesla, it's also $20,000. You can enter for a chance to win the Tesla and $20,000 by going to omaze.com/Johnny Harris. When you donate $10 or more, your donation goes to support 2 nonprofits. 501c3.
Look at this guy doing good
They
work.
are an organization that seeks to mobilize the next generation.
Props to you, buddy. Hey, I'm not your guy, buddy. I'm not your buddy guy. I completely ruined that. I don't even know if that's how it really goes. Let's continue with the video.
Creating a global community that embraces low carbon culture. The other one is called Give Power, which seeks to give clean drinkable water to the 2.2 billion people around the world who do not have safe access to clean water.
Oh, this guy's awesome.
The nonprofit uses its deep solar expertise to power and provide clean water, food security, and light to regions around the world. So, to potentially win a Tesla and $20,000 and to support these organizations, go to omaze.com/Johnny Harris to find out more. So, fungible. Let's talk about the word fungible. It's this very specific word that economists use and has a very precise definition. I want to use a different word for fungible for a second. Let's just use the word replaceable. Non-fungible means non-replaceable. You can't replace it. There's only one of them. It's unique. Non-fungible. Let me give you an example of something I feel very strongly about. Let's say you want to buy an orange jacket. This is really absurd. I've actually never...
You have 2 orange jackets.
Stop it. Get some help.
You want to buy an orange jacket from Uniqlo. You go on the internet and a jacket costs $39. If you purchase one of these jackets for $39, you don't care what specific jacket they send to you. They're going to make thousands of jackets in your size, send them to stores, send them to people, and they will send one to you. You don't care which one it is. The jacket is fungible. It's replaceable. As long as you get one that's identical to the rest.
Okay. So I know fungible means replaceable.
It's worth the...
So these tokens are supposed to be one of a kind, apparently.
Same to you. They're interchangeable.
Or no, that's not what that means. Let's see.
However, let's talk about one Uniqlo orange jacket that has been with me for a very long time.
Want an engaging website to boost your business? You're just a click away from 5-star Fiverr talent. Hundreds of freelancer skills like web design. Head to fiverr.com today and get something started.
Want to know how to create awesome videos? Check out motionarray.com. You can do it too. Titles easy, intros easy, kittens, bridges, glitches so easy.
Get out of here.
This is the original, and for those of you who don't know, I sort of have a strange attachment to this jacket. I just love it. I love the color. I feel like an identity with this thing. And it's sort of starting to disintegrate, but I love it. And I kind of fell in love. This jacket is not replaceable. If I went onto the website and paid $39 for a Uniqlo orange jacket that was this exact
It
same
won't be
model,
that
it would not be this jacket. This jacket is non-fungible. It is the only one on the planet that exists. It has emotional value. It has significance. It is a
Okay, so maybe it did mean what I thought it meant.
There's only one of them. It's valuable to me, at least. And I kind of fell in love. Okay, we can put these down for a second. Everything in our economy is one or the other, fungible or non-fungible. A sack of rice is fungible. You just want a sack of rice. You don't care which one it is. The Mona Lisa, non-fungible. There's only one. Unsurprisingly, non-fungible things are way more valuable than fungible things.
Okay, so it does mean not replaceable.
NFT, non-fungible. Now let's talk about a T, which is token. This is a very internet-y word. And to explain this, I have to explain something I have avoided explaining for a very long time. The blockchain. Luckily, there's a way to understand this, and I'm going to make it as painless as possible. Let's say I want to buy 3 slices of pizza from my friend Anna. She charges me $6 for these 3 slices. I don't use cash anymore, so I pull out my debit card, my bank card, and I swipe on her little terminal. As soon as I swipe this card, a message is sent to my bank, and it says, hey, Johnny, who has an account at your bank, wants to spend $6 on pizza, and that money needs to go to Anna's bank. This is like the bread and butter of what a bank does all day.
Yeah.
They document every transaction that comes in from all their customers, they send out money to the other banks, and at the end of the day, they have a tally of all the money that went out of your account and into your account, and they can give you a number. They can say, based on all of these transactions, you have $50 in your bank account. And so when that request comes in, as I swipe my card, my bank is like, okay, so based on all of your transactions, you have $50 in your account. I can send $6 to Anna's bank, approved, and they approve the transaction. Once that money comes into Anna's bank is doing the same thing. They're like, oh cool, she had $80 and now she has 86, and they add it to her record. More and more, your money is just a number on a screen. It's the result of a bunch of transactions. You don't barter with physical things, and you don't use cash as much. So the bank keeping meticulous records of every transaction becomes really important. We trust the bank to do this correctly. So thank you, banks.
I mean,
and other middlemen
trust is a strong word for me.
For centuries.
Banks, I mean, don't get me wrong, you need them, but banks suck, dude.
I mean, kind of smoothly.
The NASDAQ, everything and more has been completely wiped out. Was the worst day on Wall Street?
What in the world is happening on Wall Street?
There have been a few bumps in the road. With the rise of the internet, people started to wonder, is there a way that we could do this same thing, coordinate this transaction of transfer of money between 2 people without the bank? The result is a very clever concept called the blockchain. The blockchain fulfills the same thing the bank was doing. But instead of doing this privately on my bank account and talking to Anna's bank, all of the transactions are actually recorded publicly on the internet.
You're going surfing on the internet.
So let's redo this example in a crypto world. Anna charges me 6 crypto coins for my 3 slices of pizza. I go to swipe my proverbial bank card to say, yes, I want to pay you 6 coins. Instead of the bank seeing that request for a transaction and trying to validate it, it goes on to this public record where a bunch of people people's computers all around the world are keeping track of every single transaction of everyone, always. If I don't indeed have the 6 coins in my account to pay Anna, all of the people's computers who are keeping track of every single transaction will notice that there's a discrepancy. They'll be like, whoa, 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 dude, you don't have 6 coins. We're looking at every transaction ever, and
okay, this got really interesting, like really quickly. Okay. So NFTs and I guess this goes without saying, cryptocurrencies are like, they're like linked at the hip, right? Can't really have one. I mean, you can't really have, not that you can't have one without the other, because I'm pretty sure that crypto can exist and thrive sans NFTs, but NFTs kind of need cryptos in order to exist. So
all of the computers looking at the public record will see that request for a transaction, and they'll be like, yep, approved. You have 6 coins, and now Anna has 6 coins, and they'll write that transaction into the public record. Now,
is that the blockchain?
6 extra coins.
Wait, is this how the blockchain works? Yo, we're gonna get so smart. Okay, cool. Well, I am, but
the business of everybody.
Hey, this is the blockchain.
The point
I
here
think.
is that the group verifies the legitimacy of every transaction by keeping an eye on every transaction to make sure that it adds up. Okay, I'm getting hot at this point, so I'm taking off my orange jacket. Okay, so you're wondering, what does the blockchain and this public record have anything to do with cat gifts that sell for $600,000?
Yeah, please enlighten me.
Well, I'm about to tell you. So, in my pizza example, we talked about blockchain as a way to verify currency transaction. I pay you this much, you pay me this much, and everybody knows how much everybody has because it's all public. But this is where it starts to bend my mind a little bit. What if we apply this to something?
All right, one second. My chicken tendies have to go inside the fridge because I'm not eating them right now. But my nachos have to be eaten. They have to be eaten right now.
That isn't money or currency. Let's say one day you're just looking at the ledger, and the ledger's like, Johnny wants to give Anna 6 coins. Okay, he's got 6 coins, approved. And then a transaction comes up that's like, a Malaysian businessman wants to give $3 million worth of coins to Jack Dorsey in exchange for a little token or digital certificate that says that the tweet is now somehow owned by the Malaysian businessman.
There are a lot of rich people out there, man. I mean, not a lot compared to how many people aren't rich, but there are a lot of rich people out there in general, I guess. Because anonymous Malaysian guy buys this useless thing for $3 million. Like, that's the most random thing I've ever heard.
The only thing that the blockchain cares about is, does the Malaysian businessman have $3 million worth of coins? And so a bunch of computers all around the world look at the whole entire list of transactions and say like, yeah, this guy has more than $3 million worth of coins. Approved. They approve the transaction. And now it is written in a public record that is unalterable that says that this Malaysian businessman owns this tweet. The token has been transferred to somebody new. Non-fungible token, NFT. And if there's anything that gets human psychology to value something, it's if an entire group validates that it's real and that there's only one of them. There are tens of thousands of NFTs of all kinds. Some music is being given tokens. Lots of art.
You have a music NFT? That's really interesting.
Art is being minted as tokens and being bought and sold. And then, of course, there's
NBA Top Shot.
who's taking advantage of this.
These highlight moments, these top shot moments from your favorite NBA players have been turned into non-fungible tokens.
Jesse made headlines the other day when he paid $208,000 for LeBron James Top.
Dude, what? It's not even in the top, like, 20 LeBron James dunks. And you spent $208,000 on that?
It's the weirdest thing. As soon as humans have enough abundance, they have their basic needs met, food, shelter, warmth, etc. The next frontier is to create...
To pay money for anything, basically. That's the next great frontier.
Create value in things that have no inherent value. The value turns into psychological...
You said what I said, but smarter.
Logical hype, excitement around a certain thing.
Will that be debit or credit?
Both.
What do you mean?
We've been doing that forever. I mean, that's the whole art industry is based on the idea of a bunch of people decide.
By the way, this might be unpopular, but not a big fan of art. Like, obviously I can look at something and say, hey, that's cool, but some art just confuses me. Like a toilet with like a satellite on it. What is that? Why is that? Why is that worth anything? It's so stupid to me, dude. I don't know. I don't know. It might just be a me thing. I've never met anyone like me that just doesn't care for art that much.
Is valuable, and thus it is valuable. The only difference about now is we now have the technology to do this in a non-physical way, using this very sophisticated internet technology that is maturing very quickly. Okay, so this is a lot of hype, and I know you're probably thinking, like, cool, there's a bunch of rich people online buying and trading digital art, and there's millions of dollars worth of cards. I thought you said that this was going to have the potential to change the world. And I'm talking about the crazy...
Wait, are you a proponent of... I don't know why I went into thinking that he was going to start talking shit about how useless this is. Because it is, right? I don't know, maybe I'm just not a futurist. Maybe I'm just not seeing it.
Easy flip side to the NFT fad. The reality is that the technology that is the backbone for all of this, the blockchain stuff that we've been talking about, relies on the public ledger thing that I talked about. Like, that is the sort of heart and soul conceptually. But mechanically, like physically, what it relies on is computers doing a bunch of little calculations all day and night forever. These computers aren't real computers. They don't have any memory or screens or anything. All they do is just make little micro calculations all day, all night. Most NFTs are stored on a blockchain called Ethereum. And as of now, in early April 2021, when I'm filming this, the Ethereum blockchain is using 33 terawatt hours of electricity. And you're like, what's a terawatt hour of electricity? That's the same amount of power as the country of Serbia. A reminder that generating electricity usually comes from power plants that are burning fossil fuels, that are putting carbon into the atmosphere, which is a big, freaking problem.
A man-made disaster on a global scale.
The power consumption of the Ethereum blockchain is...
Okay, I see where he's going with this. It doesn't seem like he's like a proponent of this, not in the way that I said. When he said it has the power to change the world, he didn't specify whether that would be a good or a bad thing. So I just misread. I just misunderstood.
Exploding. It quadrupled in like 8 months, and it is showing no sign of slowing down. It is a lot of energy, and to think that that much energy is not being used to like move people around or produce things, it's used to like crunch numbers in a weird computer warehouse somewhere so that somebody can buy a fake token of a thing that we only... Oh man, I can't. It's just it's such an ironic moment where it's like, this is all digital, it's all fake, it's not real, but it's having deeply real world effects.
I like this guy. I'm gonna watch more of his stuff. I mean, not now, because I don't want to pilfer his content, but I like this dude.
I'm gonna finish this video now talking about what this might mean for our world going forward. This is definitely hype, and that's the whole point. I mean, these speculation markets are all about hype. We see this all the time with new technologies and new things that people get excited about, and they swarm it with their investments, the price goes up, and then something happens.
This is random, but I probably shouldn't have eaten that. I had a really good day, nutrition-wise, food nutrition-wise. Probably just ruined it with that.
For example.
Come on, Uncle Bill, this is the 90s, man.
What's a webpage? Something ducks walk on?
You're about to talk about the .com bubble? Is this a series?
Man, it's the 90s. It's hammer time.
In the 90s, the internet was taking off, and people were just realizing that you could like make money on the internet. You could like make big businesses on the internet. The stock market was surging 400% in 5 years.
Damn.
Mainly fueled by so much hype and excitement around.
You know how ridiculous that is? Okay, I trade stocks. So I do know a good bit about stocks, but I mean, I guess you don't necessarily have to know anything about stocks to know that 400% is a lot, right?
As America's longest boom.
The new economy. Is it a boom without end?
This rise peaked in March of 2000, and then the bubble burst, and a lot of these companies either went under or completely lost all of this excitement valuation that they had.
It was down some.
But did that mean that the internet went away? Did that mean that internet businesses didn't come back? No. Companies went on to reshape our world. Right now, I think we are probably in that stage of NFTs. It's hype, it's novel, it's exciting. But what it's doing is it's pushing our minds to think differently about how we validate and verify things. If I buy a house, there is a whole thick stack of paperwork and a bunch of middlemen to make sure that it is very clear who owns the house and how that money gets transferred from one person to another. It is like a nightmare of an experience. If suddenly technology existed that took away the centralized middleman and made transactions between people able to be authenticated, verifiable, and much smoother, that could change our world. I'm not
in a good way, right?
Here to say the bubble's gonna burst or whatever. I don't know.
Sucks that it takes so much energy, I guess.
Where we're getting our heads around a new technology and what it means, and eventually we'll adapt. This won't be crazy. This won't be novel anymore. Prices will go down, but the technology that allowed it all to happen will probably stick around.
This guy's interesting. Should I just go on a deep dive? I kind of want to finish learning about these NFTs, but this guy's, you know, I shouldn't. I'll save him. Let's subscribe. There you go. Let's hit the bell too. There we go. And let's like this. This guy's awesome. I've never heard of him, but I'm obviously a lot of people have. Look at the amount of followers he has. But okay, all right, moving on. Right clicking all in. What is this about? Okay, now I know CoffeeZilla is not a fan of crypto, so definitely not a fan of NFTs. Probably.
You can shape it to. When I saw that someone stole $1 billion in NFTs by right-clicking all of them, I instantly wanted to steal them too. After all, it's just kind of funny the idea of having every NFT in existence contained in one single hard drive. Lucky for me, the person who created it hosted the project on something called NFT Bay, and he offered a torrent for anyone who wanted it.
Really?
Yes, I know. Lock me up. I was here to steal all your NFTs. That was the plan. Except, well, pretty big file. Now, looking at my current disk size, I decided that would be kind of impractical, and even if I wanted to download this, it would take me like 6.
Dude, it amazes me what people can do with technology. Just that some guy just stole all of the NFTs. How is that possible?
Months with my current internet speed. So my next idea was just to contact the creator, Jeffrey, and see if he'd be willing to help me find some way to get the files faster. I told him to think of the kids. His response was this. He said it's dangerous to actually get them. IPFS is essentially dark web. Downloading images from dark web and distributing them en masse would be a lovely way to get to jail fast, especially if you're talking about blindly just downloading them all. Now I was confused. He had downloaded them. Why couldn't I? He replied, I took steps to protect myself and anyone who jumped on the torrent. It's funny, actually. Maybe we can catch up tomorrow. I decided.
People know who this guy is, and he's not in jail for doing this? How does that work? Where does he live? Oh, he probably doesn't disclose all that, but I'm interested.
That would be a good idea. Maybe he could explain how he could get this $1 billion NFT heist. But when I got on the call, our conversation took a totally different turn, and I want you to hear it. Wait a second. The NFT Bay holds all the NFTs but doesn't?
No, it doesn't. When I created the project originally, I said it was an art project, and along the way I realized to demonstrate the message that needed to be conveyed to teach people about NFTs, the actual data did not matter.
What is the message? I mean, you have a 17 terabyte file.
Well, the message is, what are people actually purchasing with NFTs? Coffee? Like, what do people think that they're actually purchasing?
I imagine they think.
I really want to know that too, if I'm being completely honest. Here, what are you actually spending your money on? This file? Just from the last video that we watched, you're under the impression that you're spending money on something that's not replaceable, that can't be replaced, right? So, I mean, that's what not replaceable means. But anyways, but like, if anyone can just like get it, then what are you're wasting your money.
They're buying a picture, basically, right? The rights to a picture. Most of the time. That's what most people.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah. The one way I like to look at it is, you've got one side that's essentially selling a treasure map or directions on how to get to treasure, and the other side thinks that they're buying treasure, the actual treasure. On one side, we've got people that think that they're buying the artwork, the treasure, and that's what they think is value. And the other side, we have people exploiting those people and selling treasure maps, how to get to the treasure. So what I wanted to highlight in the project is, a lot of people were saying that the image is valuable, the artwork is valuable because it's stored on the blockchain. It's not stored on the blockchain. It's just a hyperlink.
Wait, hold on a second. When I buy an NFT of a Bored Ape or a Lazy Lion, I'm not actually purchasing that picture? What am I actually buying?
Dude, really?
No, you're essentially buying a piece of data, and that data has a link to where the image can be located.
So like a URL? Is that what you're saying?
It's a URL. Go look at Etherscan and look at the contract and have a look at it. Literally, people are buying a link.
What?
Like directions on a treasure map to a treasure, and they're saying that the treasure is the artwork, and the only reason people are buying stuff is for the treasure or the artwork, but what's actually being sold is the directions to the treasure.
Wait a second. I know a lot of people, like, why?
Wait, what? You're paying for a link? People are spending these hundreds of thousands, and in the case of the tweet guy, millions of dollars on a link? Yo,
why not just host the file?
That other guy was right.
Why not just host the picture?
We're just creating value out of nothing.
Because the cost. In 2016, it was calculated it would cost $76,000 per gigabyte to store on the blockchain.
Cool. It's got to have gotten worse, way worse.
There's been blockchain size increases, and the costs have got worse. It'd be nice to do that calculation again. But yeah, so back to your original question. What's in the torrent? Well, it contains chunks of blockchain data, the NFTs themselves, and the rest is, if you're from a Unix background, fallocate. Now, when I launched the project, I said specifically that this would be uploaded to Internet Archive, and it's now on the Internet Archive, and it serves as just an example of the art project, of spreading the message of what people are actually purchasing, and it compressed from 18 terabytes down to 12 gigabytes.
You're gonna really people off with this one. I gotta tell you, Jeffrey. Finding this out, I do find it ironic that, number one, I was so excited about this. I just took it at face value. But also, I noticed a lot of media companies did, too. I mean, you got the BBC, The Verge.
Who's this guy? I like this guy. This was in December, right? And NFTs have only gotten more popular since this video, but this information's out here, right? This is crazy.
Vice, and many more to run articles about this NFT heist. I guess you heisted the NFTs, but everyone's thinking of you like right-clicking NFTs, but you didn't do that.
No, it's actually quite dangerous to heist all the NFTs, because if you think about it, what's actually happening is an NFT, by definition, is essentially an artwork, is a linking to a file.
Yeah.
Right? And if you were to download all the links to file, and then you were to share that with the world, that's actually quite legally dangerous.
Oh, right. Well, because it could have anything on there anyways.
It's the...
This guy's just freely just talking about this. Because I guess there's no legal recourse that can be taken against him.
Internet, it can have anything. IPFS is essentially the dark web, right? And anyone can put anything onto the blockchain. Anyone can put anything onto the blockchain. And so if you're talking about downloading all the...
By the way, we have to at some point get through this, there's like this Silk Road thing. And there's like a long a video on YouTube that I've been meaning to watch about this guy, Dread Pirate Roger or whatever. It's crazy. But like what he's saying is like true, right? I think crypto's been used, it's been being used for a while, at least the blockchain has been being used for a while for like really like sketchy things, man. Like that whole Silk Road thing, I think they exclusively use crypto to like buy and sell like all this weird shit on there.
Links from all the blockchain and then serving that's probably a bad idea.
Was that an intended effect of this whole project, is that like most people would not only confuse you but also just take you at face value, sort of like what people are doing with NFTs, where I'm buying a Bored Ape, I see a picture of a Bored Ape, so I assume that's what I'm buying. But in actual fact, you're telling me I'm actually buying a hyperlink or like a pointer to that file, which I technically do not own. I mean, or do I? It's confusing.
You don't own it.
I don't think you can own a hyperlink, can you? Can you? You can't, right? You can't own a hyperlink, right?
Yeah, it is confusing. There actually are some NFTs, and to be clear, there's some NFTs where the quality of the NFT is so poor, it's like pixel art, that they don't need to link it to elsewhere. They don't need a link as a hyperlink. But that is like the exception. Most are actually hyperlinks to an image. Kotaku described it as the heist of the century, right? Because like all the NFTs have been downloaded. It always was a performance artwork, just to write that there on popular culture of everyone. One side is saying these have value, and the other side is saying they don't have value. And it was just this beautiful pop culture piece to like focus the narrative.
What do you guys think? Do they have value, or do you consider these things as having value? I think things only have value if people are willing to value it, and it clearly seems like people value NFTs. So I would say they have value, but that's not the interesting question, right? The interesting question is, should they have value? Knowing exactly what they are, should these things have value? I don't know.
On educating people what they're actually buying. So in some ways, yes, it was a heist, but it wasn't the heist of the actual images. Well,
that guy has a bird. He keeps looking down. There's a bird in there somewhere.
Yeah, and also kind of the heist of what the NFTs actually are, right? Because you did actually download the blockchain in the NFT bay. So in a way, you actually have the what actually those people own, which is the hyperlinks, but you don't have the files, which they also don't have, which is kind of that I get. I get what you're doing. You're gonna piss a lot of people off with this one, but I do have to ask. Okay, do you own the IFPS like address? Like, let's say I buy a Pudgy Penguin. Do I own that domain where the file's located?
Is that a name of an NFT that he just dropped? I don't know. A Pudgy Penguin. Oh, let's see. Oh, it certainly is. There's an NFT called the Pudgy. Okay, dude.
What do I own?
People are
You
hilarious.
own a entry in a database that directs you how to access that image on IPFS. That's it.
So theoretically, someone could go in and change the data at the IFPS or the drive link or wherever they're storing the data.
Happens all the time. If you're following NFTs and the developments, it's called a rug pull. They sell the database entry on blockchain, and blockchain is immutable and it cannot be updated. But they host the image elsewhere, say on Google Photos or Google Drive. And then once the art is sold, the database entry is sold, they just switch it to a picture of a rug.
Okay. So,
yeah.
So it's a play on the rug pull. That's good. That's really. Is that common?
It's super common. So this isn't a rug pull. This is something else. This is originally and always was meant to be something that's a little bit funny. It's a pop cultural reference and also spark conversation about intellectual property ownership and is the NFT valuable?
It is funny that all these people who see themselves as like seeing through what an NFT is covered your piece but didn't understand actually what it was. Myself sort of included. Here's my thought. If this is all true, like, doesn't this mean that people who, the joke of like right click, save as, you know, of somebody else's NFT picture, whatever, it's kind of like they own it more than you do as the NFT owner. You own the blockchain like database link. Like you own a link. They own, you don't even own the link. You just have a link. They own the actual data. Who owns the Pudgy Penguin more? The guy with the actual data or the guy...
I would dare to say the guy with the actual data, so that sucks for the guy that paid for it, right?
With like,
dude, this is so interesting.
To the data.
That's what's so funny. That's why I use the expression treasure maps and treasure, right? So if you have the treasure, the Pudgy Penguin, you have the treasure. Meanwhile, everyone is selling links or links to the treasure. Now, this is the funny thing. Let's say the Pudgy Penguin exists on a web host somewhere.
Sure.
There's nothing stopping people from creating multiple links or multiple NFTs or multiple treasure maps to that treasure, and it happens all the time. There is no proof of authenticity. You can you can have one treasure and 1,000 treasure maps.
I guess they would argue, oh, it's just about who's creating the treasure map. If it's like, yeah, this is what's confusing to me. Look, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a second here. I think a lot of people would say, okay, this is very cute, but everyone just sort of accepts NFTs have value, and there has to be a place for digital artists. This is where I'm at. I think it's good that digital artists can make a living. I just think it's been hijacked by a bunch of scams. What do you think this means?
As a person who's not a big fan of art, I personally don't care whether or not digital artists make a living. Oh, that sucks. That's a bad thing to say. It's a bad thing to say. It's not that I don't want them to make it. Let me try to clarify. It's not that I'm rooting against them to not make money, but I don't care whether or not they do. If that makes any sense.
For what NFTs are, or could be sold as.
It's a tough question. I suppose we have to look at where we are right now in society. If we look at things very carefully, we have over $1 billion in venture capital invested by venture capitalists. Like, a solid billion of venture capital is being poured into the technology industry to find a use for blockchain. Now, technologists have yet to find a proper use for blockchain. We're still trying to find the use. At the same time, we have social media influencers that
I thought we already had a use for blockchain, right? Dude, I thought I knew a little bit about this. I know nothing. I'm starting to learn here.
Double for purchase.
Which is good.
And then finally,
learn something.
We have the final thing, which is the communities. We have DAOs, which are essentially...
Yeah, I think that's what's going to be the theme of our time together on the internet. It's learning stuff. Like earlier, I learned that I was shit at Halo, you know? That was important for me. I needed that. Now I'm learning that I knew nothing about something that I thought I knew a little something about.
Actually, you buy a token. The token, the best way I can explain that is timeshare. So to join the community, you buy a piece of timeshare, and now your ownership of that timeshare, you're now
incentivized to promote it. So we've got companies who invested money in, we've got venture capitalists who invested a lot of money into companies, incentivized to promote. We've got social media influencers who are getting paid to promote and get a cut. And now all of a sudden we've got communities themselves that are now incentivized to promote. So it's really hard to tell what is natural. If we look back historically at how communities formed, people turn up around an art project because they love it. They think it's cool, it's got a vibe, it's got what else have you. But now with tokenization of everything, people are turning around and turning up because they can make coin.
They're financially vested in this thing doing well. I do think it's weird too.
I respect that, man. You gotta respect.
Community freaks out.
You gotta respect people finding ways to make money, right? It's funny when you realize, like, and not saying everyone has the ability or, you know, access to what's needed to come to this realization, but there's a bunch of money out there and people just want to give it to you, right? You just have to find a way to get them to give it to you.
I mean, because they are financially sort of vested. They're activist investors, basically, is what you can create if you sort of have these communities spring up. Do you think NFTs are worthless?
I don't know. I do know that a lot of people are being exploited. And
I think he knows. I think he wants to say they're worthless.
Being left to hold the bag. It's funny you mention any criticism, because any criticism automatically gets said that's FUD.
Right.
Right. They just dismiss it all as FUD.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how rational of an argument you can put forward. That
this guy is. Dude, there's so many parallels to what he just said. If you've ever been on Wall Street Bets, oh my God, dude, those people are insufferable.
Even the technology industry is seriously divided about these technologies, and we've yet to find a usage for it. But meanwhile, we've got art galleries with 1.4 million Twitter followers about to do an NFT gallery sale, and we've got people, I'm getting emails as a result of NFT Bay of people like, I don't have a job. I'm trying to put my son through college. I've just got some coin. I got the crypto.com wallet. I got the Coinbase wallet. Which coins should I purchase? Can you give me some free NFTs? I want to change my life.
I think a lot of people are going to take issue with the idea there's been no use found for it. I think a lot of people are going to say, okay, yeah, it's a new technology. They're going to liken it to the internet. Look, the internet, you couldn't have expected much early on. You would have missed what...
Yeah, but okay. Okay. The internet, no, you couldn't have expected much early on. But I think that people knew that in the future, our people could, I don't know, forecast the future in a much more accurate way than you can for NFTs, right? Like, the internet from its inception had a use. Kind of knew what it was. We didn't know what it was going to become, but we knew what it was and eventually what it had the potential to be. I find it hard to believe that someone's going to be able to make the argument, that same argument for NFTs.
What it's going to become and how it's going to change everything. They would say, look, same thing with crypto. Give us 10 years. We'll build that future. You kind of got to just trust us.
It's factually correct that we've yet to find actual use for this technology. Yet. Doesn't mean that in the future.
Money, I mean, as a currency. I mean, as these smart chain things, they're really interesting. I think there's some cool uses of it. I think you could make the argument, oh, you can do everything that you can do on a smart chain in a website or whatever. But I guess the idea is that you can decentralize it. You don't have to have anything running it. You can replace a lot of fin stuff with new fintechs. I don't know. I think you could find something.
Yeah, but I'm open. I went through the early internet and I see a lot of things that people are building. It reminds me of the early internet. So I'm open that there could be value in the future.
Right.
But the thing that worries me right now, and especially in the NFT space, I'm getting emails from people essentially saying I'm buying coins because I hope to change my life. So we still haven't found utility, and meanwhile these coins are increasing in value. There's these. If you go to Twitter Spaces, coffee, and just any of the Twitter Spaces, you'll hear the scams are so brazen.
Oh,
it's all pump and
absolutely agree. I mean, I share your deep concern that a lot of these coins are going to just wreck people.
That's what I'm getting at. Is now the right time for those for those people who are desperate and who could be exploited to be getting into crypto?
No, but you can't stop them from trying, and people are all very excited about the technology. Yeah, it's very interesting. I think a lot of people who missed the tech boom
He's trying to play devil's advocate, but it's starting to get a tiny bit of an unnecessary back and forth going on here.
Are trying to get in on the blockchain and get themselves rich without understanding what's sort of going on. And this is why I find this project actually so interesting, is because you're sort of uncovering that like a lot of us do not understand NFTs too well. Like here's another question. When I buy an NFT, do I own the copyright to that NFT?
Some NFTs, yes. There are things like Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Okay, so that's at least good to know.
They specifically have gone out there and said that we do, and this is why you're starting to see things like Bored Ape Yacht Club on shoes, etc. They are the exception. The majority of the things that you're seeing now that are created, that is not the case.
Do you think some people say
not even the picture?
Right. You're right. Yeah, you own the hyperlink to the picture. It's so confusing. Do you agree with people like Gary Vee who think that in the future all contracts are going to sort of be signed on the blockchain or done on the blockchain or stuff like this? Like NFTs basically are going to be tokenized versions of ownership that could represent anything. A house, insurance contract, anything.
I've been thinking a lot about that actually. I've been actually thinking of V2 of the NFT Bay. We've got something cooking, but that's not for now. But specifically been thinking about Gary Vee and what he's saying there. If you look at how people use their devices right now, like the younger generations, they create alternative accounts. They create sock puppet accounts. They're not under their real names.
Yeah.
Right. So the way they're using technology and their privacy model is very different. So if we go to that idea that everything's conducted on the blockchain, if we're talking about what the blockchain is, it means anyone can read how much money you have, where you shop. I'm
not sure I would like that. That's actually scary, right? Like I don't think I would like that idea of anyone just being able to know all of this information about my financial transactions, That's basically like taking a peek through my window, That's, I don't know. I don't think I like that idea.
Where you visit, which airline you use, like if everything is on the blockchain as they talk about, that essentially means anyone can read anything about your lives. And if we look at where we are right now in society, we're seeing a lot of pushback over Facebook and how Facebook is run and how they're using that information.
That's a beautiful point. That's a beautiful point. Because like whenever you speak to someone about crypto, and not really just crypto, but the blockchain, they're like, they're all like really huge. The government has all your information and is following you kind of people. And these companies also are collecting all your information, which is true. But what's stopping just a random person from doing that using the blockchain?
In bad ways. And if we hit this blockchain nirvana where everything's on the blockchain, then we've created a world that is much worse than just Facebook. Instead of a singular company owning our data, no one essentially owns your data. Anyone can read your data, and that's anyone.
Right, because I guess right now we just have a bunch of wallet addresses, and so it seems like everyone's anonymous. We could fast forward this 5 years. Most of these wallet addresses are going to have names attached to them. You're going to see the Macy's. If the utopia comes true, I guess, you're going to see the Target blockchain. You're going to see. So when you see your buddy's wallet, you're going to see everywhere they shop.
Well, right now, there's actually two real huge identifiers. You can buy an ENS domain or .eth, and that will actually assign a name to a wallet, and that will actually de-anonymize the wallet. I've seen videos of yourself, Coffee, where you've looked at NFT scams where they've actually like that's the name. It's no longer a walleted address. It's a name you can talk over the radio with.
Right.
And the other thing is you can always see currently you can see how much money is in a wallet, or how much money someone owns or has, and how much money was transacted. But with NFTs, it's not necessarily just about money. It can be a contract, and right now the contract is a link to an image. What happens in the world, like we talk about the benefits of immutability, and data on the blockchain is immutable, and that is a great thing. But is it really? Like, if anyone can publish anything as a link and send it to your wallet, is that a great thing for society?
Yeah, I mean, you could send all sorts of crazy stuff.
Anything.
Dang, he's making some really great points here.
Lessons in Web 1, Web 2 about spam, do we not?
Sure. Yeah. Well, you already see that in wallets, where like in OpenSea, they've had to make it possible to hide certain parts because people were getting all these basically fake collections spammed into their wallets, famous people's wallets, so that other people would see that and perceive value to that collection.
That's exactly it. So what we've managed to create right now in the NFT space is a world where you've got to spend money to get rid of images that someone has sent you in the spam. Now, individual, like OpenSea, they have the ability to hide said images and wallets, but that data is always there on the blockchain. What happens if that what is sent to you is not, what happens if what was sent to you was not just like some art to try and pump their own collection? What happens if it was something worse?
Like illegal material, basically.
Well, I'll give you an example. We had things like the fappening, right? All the celebrities, they're new.
Does anyone remember the fappening? Like, I know what it is, and I'm not just saying this to seem like pure or whatever. I think I might have been the only person who wasn't Googling the names of celebrities that were in that giant leak, you know, for you know, purposes there that we don't have to talk about. But I had friends. That was not cool, by the way. That was really not cool, man. That was kind of gross, dude. Like, and I'm not here to judge anyone, but like, man, anyone who, like, I don't know, went on there and downloaded whatever was on there, and I just, look, to each his own, bro, but there's like legal things you can look at. You don't have to go to these people's stolen stuff. Like, ugh, dude, it's made of chills, man.
Nudes got hacked.
Sure.
What happens when some person publishes the fappening, and essentially right now you can publish that information onto their social media profile, and it's like them nude, and it's immutable. It's always on the blockchain, and you can never get rid of it.
Quit talking to us about the negatives, Jeffrey. I want to hear about how to pump my bags.
No, I like this. I like him talking about the negatives.
That is an example.
I like him talking about the negatives because this is important. And these are things that I never really considered.
So we've built these systems where essentially you have to pay money to
weird.
burn the NFT, or the NFT, which could be abuse material. Yeah. But even if you burn it, it's always going to be attached to your name.
Right, the record of it will always be there. Yeah, I guess somebody theoretically could send you a token with your address in the metadata, like your personal address.
What is your deal, man? No, this is my unicorn.
I hate movies where
sort of
animals are like.
Yes, you could draft a token to docs.
Oh my gosh,
it's permanently against your name.
That's terrible, and then everyone can see it.
It is. Everyone can see it. We will see tokens for doxing. So we've built this open world of utopian nirvana, and people are so focused.
This guy is like crypto pilling me right now. Like, this guy's kind of like, I wasn't in the middle. I was kind of like, yeah, crypto the future. Now I'm like slowly going that direction because these are all legitimate things that he's bringing up right now.
Just on making money.
Which, by the way, there might be a fix for him, you know, but these are all legitimate things. Concerns.
I'm kind of getting into some ideas I have for future things to demonstrate points, but hopefully through this, we're also sit down with educated people as well. That in the future, it's very possible we'll have tokens for doxing people, and it's permanently attached to your wallet address. And so the idea is, okay, I'll just burn my wallet. I'll get a new wallet. It's easy to get a new wallet.
Right.
And then some person, you see the stuff that happens on YouTube and the drama. Like some person just like, oh, they got a new wallet. All right, let's dox them again. And there's no mitigations. There's no spam filters. There's no nothing. Anyone can write anything on the blockchain and send it to your wallet. It's an inbox, a spam inbox that anyone can write to with no mitigations right now.
I guess except that it costs them money.
If you can get your casino advertised on Kanye West's social media profile, is it worth the $100?
Definitely.
So cost isn't even a barrier.
So you're highlighting all these problems of a technology. Do you think that the innovations will scale? I mean, I think with all things, like usually technology tries to innovate to solve technology problems that it's sort of created, and you sort of have all these knock-on second-order effects you didn't expect.
Everything he's saying is just hopeful thinking.
Expect, like you built a blockchain, oh great, oh, and then someone got doxed on your blockchain. Okay, well let's build some way to do that. Do you think that's viable, or are you like pessimistic about our ability to do that?
I don't know. What I do know is it's way too early for vulnerable people to be buying into an ecosystem.
This guy seems legitimately concerned and very genuine, and I kind of appreciate that.
Where there's $1 billion of venture capital in, there's social media influencers creating hype and getting paid for it, and you've got communities who are incentivized to hype, right? And if someone isn't aware of these three factors in the ecosystem, they could confuse that for an ability to get rich. Now, as a result of the NFT Bay, I've actually had regulators from different governments contact me because they actually want to know about NFTs. They're finding it very hard to actually find someone who is not incentivized by NFTs, because everyone they speak to has either got a company or got NFTs they're trying to sell. Sure. So they can't even get a straight answer from a legislative point of view. Meanwhile, they're getting calls from people in their country saying, I invested all this money and I'm left holding the bag and I got scammed. Can you please do something?
And the problem with that is they can't do anything because it's not regulated. So it's like the Wild West out here right now, and people are just throwing their money at anything. And I get it, you know. If I thought there was a legitimate chance for me to be rich overnight, then I do. I mean, granted, it has to be within the confines of the law. I'll do whatever it takes in order to make that happen. So I get people throwing the quarter in the wishing well, if you will, but like, man, the repercussions suck. Like, if you go all in, you know, like for every successful YOLO, there's like hundreds, maybe even thousands, maybe even millions of unsuccessful YOLOs. So like, I don't know. I like this guy. I'm gonna have to learn more about him.
Well, why are they going to you? You have all the NFTs. You're very heavily incentivized to you got all of them to talk well about them. That's really interesting. Yeah, I imagine from a country standpoint, it's very hard to see. It does feel like people are divided. Either you have NFTs and you love NFTs and you're bullish, or you think it's all a scam. You know, it's going nowhere. I mean, for me, I think 99% of what's going on is a scam. This is a little bit. It's not really brave to say. This is sort of a common opinion. I do think there will be some future uses for NFTs. I think the technology is pushing its way there, but I didn't know the data limitations, just how steep they were on fees. That really changes what I think, like maybe some.
Okay, another thing I learned from this, you might have missed it in the conversation. A guy said something about it costing $76,000 to put some of these NFTs on the blockchain. I think I heard him say that. That's ridiculous, man.
Innovations could be, because if it's going to be on chain, if it's going to get the benefits of on chain, it just costs so much money.
Exactly. That's actually the kind of the dirty secret of the Web3 movement, is how much exists on standard internet infrastructure. Like, they claim everything's on chain,
right?
But the way to know if something's on chain or not is really simple. When you click a button, did you get charged for clicking that button? It's that simple.
If any
it's
data
that simple.
changes hands, you
Dang, man.
On Web3.
Exactly. So that's how you know. If you're using a product, say OpenSea, and you click a link, and
this guy must be drawing or something, because his fingernails are dirty.
You don't get charged for it. You're not. That means it's off chain. It's that simple. So, and you'll know if you're paying, because I had to register an ENS domain a couple of weeks. So I'm bullish that something will be found.
Right.
But I think it's too early for the general.
I think that's a good message.
Being pushed into this.
Right. Where they don't even know, and like you said, even the experts are struggling to know where it's going. Why is the general population having this like sort of shoved down their throats?
Why is this being mainlined into society when even the people who build the technology don't even know what we could do with the technology, and we're trying to still figure out the technology? And that's an underlying message, really, to the NFT community. They need to police their own community. They need to call out scammers in their community and obvious pumps and dumps, and actually work to make sure the name of NFT is not tarnished. Because if they don't, regulators will step in and regulate for them. And that's going to be a worse thing. And we may never actually find utility.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes regulators step in and they misunderstand the technology and actually make the situation worse. Yeah, I think I largely agree with you here, Jeffrey, and I think your NFT bay is...
Largely? I think this guy made really salient and kind of unobjectionable arguments just now, right? I don't think there's much to
really
disagree with.
Project. Whether or not the pictures are there or not, the NFTs are there. That's the crazy thing, is I'm really having a hard time parsing from my brain that you own the NFTs but not the pictures. I've just thought that the NFTs are the pictures, and vice versa.
And that's one of the reasons that I've been laughing for a little bit. It was 2 weeks ago since the launch that one half is saying, thank you for backing up all the NFTs. We fully aware that the artwork is not backed up on chain. Thank you for backing it all up. And at the same time, they're also saying that the artwork has no value. It's the contract, the NFT, the contract that has value. Meanwhile, the other side is saying, oh, we're just going to right-click save the treasure.
That's funny, because I guarantee you 99.9% of people think that the actual image is what the value is derived from.
The NFT. And they're saying that it doesn't have value. So essentially the NFT bay, it's upside down. It contains the actual NFTs, not the JPEGs.
It does make me wonder what happens when all this Web 2 infrastructure breaks down. Let's say you have a Google Drive link that has your image, right? And somebody forgets to keep paying Google for, their extra storage space or whatever. Your file gets deleted. Now what is your NFT worth?
It's happened. It happens all the time. People have lost millions.
This has happened already?
Contracts that link to an image host, and that image host goes offline. Like, if it links to an internet domain name, and that domain name doesn't get registered anymore, that means anyone in the world can go register that domain name, and they can put any image in that person's art gallery.
Oh boy, that's gonna go bad. I know that's gonna happen, and when it does,
yes, it is.
That is gonna be funny. So, is it true that somebody screenshotted the NFT Bay website and sold it?
Yeah, it's true. It's actually hilarious. VVD, Vincent Van Dough, took a screenshot of the
Vincent
NFT
Van Dough. Yo, MVP. This was worth watching this, because I just learned that there's a guy out there with that name.
Sold the hyperlink to the screenshot of the NFT Bay, made $18,000 for selling the treasure map to the treasure with the image, and then I took a screenshot of his auction result and I turned that into an NFT. And
that's so
the
funny.
collector becomes the collected. And that is likely the only NFT that I'll ever create in its current incarnation and form. And well, if you're going to be talking about these things, you have to be authentic. You've got your action. How can you talk about it unless you have done it? So I created an NFT of the NFT of the NFT Bay
that can hold all the NFTs. Very interesting. You're a very interesting man, Jeffrey. I will link the website. I hope you guys learned something. That was the whole intention.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
Me and Jeffrey got together.
That was awesome. That was awesome. All right. Well, it's bedtime for me. You guys can stay up till 2. I don't give a shit. It's bedtime for me. All right. Well, peace out. Be easy and